you got your business like it was a necessity that you had to have these ads every day and everything is on Facebook. And
you'd have some major downtime.
Man, I'd be crapping my pants. Hey, welcome to Smart AF. I'm your host, Torie Mathis. We have got a great show for you today, so let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to the show. I'm Torie Mathis, your host, and I'm here with the one, the only, Sean Mathis.
Hola.
The founder of Miles Through Time Automotive Museum, here on the show today. So you guys, we gotta get serious here. I don't have serious ones very often, but this is one of them. Some crazy shit going on. Crazy.
Preach.
People getting shut down. Companies deciding what's okay, what's not okay. It's a weird time. And I know this happened over the summer, and it really caught my eye when there was a group of doctors that went on TV and said some things that they felt. And people were like, nah, we don't like you talking about that. And what happened? Squarespace decided, nope, you're not allowed to say that, and took their website down. And I believe at that time, MailChimp took their account down as well and said, we don't like what you're saying.
Not
and
cool.
I was like, man, I've never seen that before. Like, that's pretty weird. I would have never guessed that all this other stuff was ever going to happen. Like, it's crazy town. And maybe people who aren't business owners don't realize how crazy this is. I don't want to get political, but like Parler, that was a business. They had employees.
I think it's easy for people to disconnect the business from the person. So it's not necessarily that they're doing anything to a human. You know, they're just shutting down an establishment, not realizing all the then humans that are, you know, suffering because of that. And it trickles so much farther down than just that one establishment. I mean, it could be suppliers and all kinds of people that rely on whatever that one business is that now have nothing to do with anything that are ultimately being punished.
So when you're doing business, especially like everybody's digital, like you got to get your business online. It's super necessary in today's world. However, when you are putting your business online, you're utilizing third-party assets, essentially. For example, like Parler was on Amazon hosting. Like they didn't have their own, like their hosting isn't in the backyard, and that's how they get their website. I think a lot of people don't really understand like how websites actually work. Like you have to have another company generally putting your website up. GoDaddy, for example, is like a host, and they're another one that has, you know, taken down websites because they didn't like what was on there. They didn't, want that on their servers. So when you put your website out there, you are, if you have your own hosting, like you go through GoDaddy rather than using some type of builder, like I thought you would be okay. Like, honestly, I'm like, see, Squarespace, don't use that shit. Yeah. They'll take your website down. Then I'm like, well, what the fuck are you supposed to do then? What if they come for you? You know that whole saying, like you thought it was fine and then they came for someone else and you were like, it's not me.
Well, before we just thought like, what if you missed a payment or two and you didn't realize it and they took your website down and now all of a sudden you don't have a website. And you're like, well, what the hell? Why didn't you tell me? You know, that you didn't get the email or whatever the case may be. Your website's gone.
Right. So if you have a third party or something like that, like it's pretty much like your website probably is gone. So I don't really want to get political on like whether they should take stuff down. I'm just saying that anybody that has a business needs to make sure that their assets are theirs, that you back things up, that you should always be a little bit prepared. Man, so before the cloud was very popular, I had all of my files on my hard drive.
That sucked.
Man, didn't I learned like the hugest lesson. This had to be
This is years ago now.
Years ago. So that's probably around when Bella was born. So that was like 9 years ago. So all of my client files, all of my programs, everything was on this hard drive. Nothing was backed up. And my hard drive died, like just gone one day out of nowhere. I had no business. Everything was on there. I had to actually send it away to somebody for days and wait for it to come back. And, from that, like, I'm not doing anything like that. I make sure my shit's backed up. Everything's backed up.
Even computer-wise, like, your computer goes down, we can use mine. Like, there's backup for a backup.
Well, but if the computer went down, like, there's actually nothing on my computer. Everything is in the cloud, backed up somewhere else. Like,
I mean, as far as being able to actually work, not specific
right, just having
files,
one type of thing.
Because even then, like if we only had the one, you'd be down again until we got another computer.
So something that we do for all of our websites, which we're not on, none of our clients, none of our stuff is on some third-party builder type thing. We did a t-shirt site on it. What is the Shopify? Unfortunately, like stuff like that, that's a third party. And though it's like such a good program to like sell your stuff, like that's on their system. Like you don't own the website. Like you can't like make a copy of it and take it with you. So all of our stuff is like we own all the assets. However, like as you saw with some of these hosting things, like the hosting companies were like, nope, take your stuff off. So all of our websites, we have backups, daily backups that our website backs up. So if something happened, like we have them on our own files that we could put it up somewhere else. So I hope that like in all of this stuff that's happened, like be a little wary of using something, a service that you can't make a backup of your website that you couldn't put up somewhere else. Like don't be a shitty person and put bad stuff online and get kicked off of stuff, but people get kicked off on accident. People have disagreements. I mean, political things, like who knows what's going to happen, you guys. So be safe. Make sure that your website is completely backed up and backed up often. With our clients that we have a website maintenance program that we do that daily backups are just part of the things that we do. That way, if anything ever happened, we have a backup of it because you never know. So talking about those doctors though, the MailChimp kicked them off their service, which means they can't even email anybody. And I've seen this happen to other people as well. So like fantastic that you're growing your list, but make sure you have a copy of that list. Maybe make copies of your emails, like whatever you need to do. There's automatic things that you can do so that you have backups of these things so that you don't have to worry about it. And maybe making a schedule, a habit of backing up your list. I don't know, depending on how often you grow your list. Like for Miles Your Time, you're always getting new subscribers like every day. Probably weekly would be a good idea to download your list. That way you have it.
I haven't really thought about it.
But it probably would be a good thing. Like we're not doing anything that we think that we would get kicked off, but holy shit, like your last name starts with M. We don't like people with the last name of M.
Really,
you're gone.
What if the company that I was using to get those email lists did something that now all of a sudden was gone? I did nothing, and yet my business is then affected. That's again, unfortunately, something you have to think about in these days.
Mm-hmm. We always talk about owning your assets in the way that a lot of people are like, well, I talk to all my clients on social media. I have lots of followers on Facebook or on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, but that's not your account.
Their only website is their Facebook page.
You don't have their email. You don't have a way to reach out to them. Like Donald Trump might have had a bazillion people following him on Twitter, but he doesn't have their email address. You know what I mean? Like right now, like if you got shut down off of that, if like Facebook was the place you were going to be, and for some reason Facebook decided that, we're going to cancel a bunch of accounts, which happens all the time on accident, the algorithm gets screwed up and cancels. Like it happens all the time. If you have all your eggs in
our ads happen, right? Facebook screws up the ads all the time and kicks ads off for no reason. Ads that have been running for a really long time with no issues. All of a sudden
they're like, equal housing opportunity. You're, doing something wrong for this. Like they're not housing ads. Like it's just the random things, and they'll be out for like a week or two. Like if that was if your business, like you got your business, like it was a necessity that you had to have these ads every day and everything is on Facebook, and
you'd have some major downtime.
Man, be crapping my pants.
Right.
Like, these things happen. And with how crazy things have been online, like, I just want to make sure that people are being really careful with their assets, with their data. Make a backup, keep backups, try to be a little careful. Don't be careful. Like, I don't know. I don't want to make those decisions for you. I'm scared. I'm scared for some of you. Oh, what is happening?
If you can export anything about your business and have a backup for it that you could then apply in somewhere else, maybe you should think about doing it. Not saying anything's going to happen, but it's more of an insurance policy that you might as well.
Because of all of this convenience, we've come to rely on a lot of companies. For example, QuickBooks, you used to be able to buy it and have a copy of it on your computer that you could just use. You owned a copy of QuickBooks. They don't let you own a copy of QuickBooks anymore. Now it's QuickBooks Online. And to access your data, you have to use their system. If they mess up your account, if something happens, if QuickBooks owner decides to go crazy and the company gets canceled, who knows, guys? Like, your data's gone. Like, how are you going to get it?
Microsoft's the same way.
So when putting all of these things out there, like, what would happen if QuickBooks blew up tomorrow? Like, I'd have no accounting data. I don't have all that stuff downloaded. Maybe I should. Like, I think we all need to kind of take a little bit of inventory of, like, where is my data? What's going on with all my stuff? So my website, okay. My email list, okay. My accounting, like, is there a backup of that? If something did happen? Because, man, guys, it's crazy.
Better only to lose a portion of it than absolutely everything.
Because we don't know what's going to happen with some of these tech companies. Some of them might end up going under. I mean, Parlor was gone. QuickBooks could be gone. Like, who knows what's going to happen? It could happen. Like, we don't really know. So take a look at all these places. Even, like, you know, we have stuff in Dropbox. Like, what if Dropbox, like, fell off the world tomorrow? Like, all of our files are there.
Really, what if it was hacked and the hacker just deleted everything? Like, no fault of any business. Like, it just, some douchebag came in and thought they'd be funny or whatever the case may be, and it's gone. I bet you wish you had a backup then.
Yeah, I suppose there could be any type of attacks that even, you know, hackers could take down, you know, lots of different things. And some stuff, you guys, some stuff when it's gone, it's gone. Like, yeah. It's not coming back. So what kind of assets do you have out there? Where is your data? Do you own your data? Are you putting too many eggs in one basket, like some Facebook type stuff, you know, into some type of social media platform? These are some weird times, and I just really want business owners to take care of themselves and be careful with where their business is going, and not let something, you know, frivolous like this, like just not making a backup, affect their business from growing or losing clients. These are some weird ass times. Nobody ever thought that, like, the government would shut down all these businesses. Other things could happen, and it's time for everybody to kind of just be aware of what's going on and not think that these businesses are looking out for your best interest, or that they're going to be here tomorrow, or that you might get kicked off of something either accidentally, like the Facebook ads, just randomly doing things, or because they decide they don't want you on there anymore, because you can see now that it could definitely happen. So be careful. So if you like this episode, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, or subscribe to our podcast. We have all of our shows both on YouTube as videos or on most podcast software. So wherever you like to listen or watch your videos, we've got them there. Yeah, and stuff. Like this video. We'll see you on the next one.
Oh boy.
Yes. If you want to get smart tools to build your business, go to besmartao.com.